Hey guys, and welcome to the Hackinon's YouTube channel. In this video, we are quickly going to learn how to build a minimal and simple form in HTML using CSS. So let's get started. So first things first, I have imported the boilerplate for an HTML code, and there's no data present in it. And now first things first, let's use the form tag to create a form. And now let's put in the input tags. So first things first, we will need an input of a type text. So let me do that quickly. Type text, and for the timing, let's put a placeholder of name and press enter. As you can see on my right side, I have the form present and there is an input of a placeholder name. And now let's just copy this input and paste it. So let's think of a HTML form such as a sign up form. So usually in a sign up form we have a name, username, and apart from that we've got a password section where we can enter our password and confirm password. So I think so these four inputs look fine for now, and this is just so that we have something to work on and design when working with the CSS. So as you can see, we've got a name, username, password, and confirm password. But as you can see, this data and the text that design, but as you can see, the design that's displayed on the website is very old fashioned and doesn't look cool at all. And also I remembered we need to also put input of the type submit. So let me do that quickly. Type is equal to submit, and we are good to go. And as you can see, now I've got a submit button, and let me put in a break tag so that I put it to the next line. Save it, and now is the complete form ready. Now let's go to the CSS portion, that is the styling portion of the form. First things first, I do not like this form being present on the top leftmost of the website. So let me show you what I'm trying to explain you. When I full screen this, obviously now the data is present as a straight line because I haven't put the break tag. But as you can see, it doesn't look really good because everything is inclined towards the top left. I want to change that. So I want the data to be present somewhere in the middle right over here. So I'm going to obviously use the CSS flexbox. And as you can see, the parent element to the form tag is the body. So I'm going to trigger the body tag and work on the CSS flexbox inside the body tag. And let me do the display, that is change this inline to flex. And if I save it, there's nothing much that's going to be visible for the timing because I haven't worked much on it. And if I change the justify content, that is the horizontal axis, and I want that to be present in the center. For now, so nothing much is going to be present, but as we keep working and changing the CSS, things will be present in our code. And finally, last, align items, that is the vertical axis as per how the elements are present. That also I want to be present in the center. Okay, well and good. Now we need to style the form tag. So let's start with that. So let me call the form tag and start editing it. So first things first, I want to put a thin border radius. So that's not too much visible, but I want that to be 20 pixels. Then I will put a border, and this is basically based on your preferences. I like to put a border for the outline, so it looks kind of good, cool. Then I'm gonna put a width of, let's say, how much, let's for the timing keep it to a 50 viewport of the width, and then the height again to a 50 viewport of the height. And after that I'm going to leave it for here. And as you can see, now the data is present pretty much in the center, and it suffices to some requirement as per how much we need to be present in the form. But again, as you can see, this form elements are present very shabbily inside the form tag. So now let's start styling the input tags. So again, let me trigger the input, and within that I will try to do something such as a width and put a width of 90%. So again, now the width is 90% of the form tag. So as you can see, the data is again present inside the form tag. And now I'll again put a border radius so that it looks a bit stylish of, let's say, how much, let me give it 10 pixels. Let me test it out. Okay, this looks pretty cool. And now I'll put a background of white to keep it clean and look. This is pretty much not going to be present, but still we'll just keep a background color of white. And now a font family, and I would like to keep the font family of Lucida Sans. So let me search that. As you can see, it comes in my suggestions. It's basically Lucida Sans, and these are just extra fonts, but I can just simply cancel it. And as you can see, I just want these two things, Lucida Sans of sans serif. So likewise, now the font style also is going to change in while, and font family is done. Now let's keep the font weight, that is whether it would be bold or not. So I want to keep it bold. So for that I have to put a weight of 700, and after that I can go to choosing the color of the text that's going to be present. So let for the timing keep it blue. And likewise, I'm not going to keep any border, because of which it doesn't look really cool. So I'm going to keep border of none. I don't like the bordered look. As you can see, now there's no border as such present. And finally, if I'm done with it, I can put a small padding. And let me show you how much padding I'm going to put. Padding of like a 0.5 relative measure. And here guys, we've got something present, and it doesn't look really good, but we will work on and make the changes in it as soon as possible. First thing first, I think I need to increase the height of the form to 70 view height. Okay, so now it looks quite better. But again, I do not like this border or that put for the form, so I'm going to remove it. And okay, fine, this looks slight decent. Again, not pretty good, so I'll keep the border because I need to know where the form is currently. And apart from that, I'm also going to remove the outline width of the input. So outline width, and put it to none for the timing. Well, and if I save it, as you can see, now it looks a bit better. And now I need to place all these items in the center of the form tag. So again, I'm going to go into the form tag and do display flex, the common CSS flex box, justify content center, and align items center. As you can see, these items now are present in a row. So all I need to change is flex direction to column. Pretty cool. And as you can see, I've got some things needed as to how I wanted my form to work, but I just need some gap between these items. It doesn't look pretty cool. So for that, first things first, I'm going to remove this break tag because I don't need it anymore. I'm using the flex box. And now I can go back into my form where the flex box property is present, and I can set a property of gap that decides the amount of gap that needs to be present between the flex items. And for the timing, I will just test down and keep it to 0.5 rem. And this looks pretty cool. So I've got my name, username, password, confirm password, and when I click on submit, the data is pretty much going to go. But yeah, we're not looking into that field. So likewise, we've got something that we are trying to establish. But in case you want to make more changes to this form, like if you do not like the width, I feel it's too wide, I can reduce that, and I can reduce it a bit more to like maybe 30 width. And this looks pretty cool now for the timing. And again, if I want some background color for the form, I can do that too. I can go into the form and change the background to, let's say, I'm really not sure what color I'm going to give, but I'll take red. And if I go into this, I can just tweak in and choose this color based on my liking. That's the best part of using VS Code. And if I save it, as you can see, that this data is displayed over here. And let me see, when I type in, as you can see, now the blue color is present. So likewise, I can change that property to from blue to something matching to the red color, since my background color right now is red. So I will change this somewhere to RGB value of 241 3112, and if I save it, now I think I have something similar to the background, that's reddish color. And likewise, I can put my name details like forth, and when I click on submit, it sends the data to the backend or my JavaScript file. So that's it guys. I hope you found this video helpful and you understood the concepts as to how to build a simple form using HTML and CSS. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to drop a like and share it with your friends, and subscribe to the Hackinon's YouTube channel for more fun and interesting videos.